Hi, happy Saturday. Happy 21st of December 2019. Super exciting, isn't it? Winter solstice. I can feel it in me now. Nearly Christmas, and my birthday's on New Year's Eve, so that's always pretty shit actually, but that's coming up. So yeah, I've been pulled in a really obvious way with my consciousness in the last 24, 48 hours, and I've been looking into a little bit more of things that can help me explain what my mind and my heart need to say with regards to the rhesus negative blood type and its place in evolution, or its potential place. Everything's just a theory, nobody knows anything, but how in my eyes it is being portrayed in completely the inverted and backward way, and in particular the sort of really strange demonisation and persecution, and especially of the O negatives. I feel like people have a lot to say about the O negatives, and it's like, I don't know. So and for me, this is something that came to me during the awakening, my mystical night that I've spoken about before, with the fucking emerald green light and the crystal, and what my sort of spiritual downloads were. And so I honour that, whether that's my ego or my mind playing tricks on itself. It's like, that was the fucking shit that came out after that crazy night. I'm gonna keep that close to me. And so I feel like for 18 months I've been sort of researching this rhesus negative blood, but in more of an intuitive way, i.e. just taking what resonates and taking with a pinch of salt, the rest of it. And I've listened to so many different rhesus negative perspectives and the opposite, and I've looked at ways that it's been portrayed in different communities, and I've been sort of I've been on a whole roller coaster of emotions around this, and it's something that's really close to my heart. So I'm going to put together this little video, but how synchronicities and flow goes, and how you're just sort of in one on one. And yesterday and today as well, the things that have just popped up, the pieces of information for me to just be like, whoa, and it's all sort of piled onto me, in this last 2 days. So obviously I don't want to be a foolish prick and just start spouting crap, but I felt like I was seeing some kind of pattern yesterday emerge, for potential theories of how the blood groups were sort of evolved, if you know what I mean. And this one picture, I know I've shown it, or maybe not, my phone screen's cracked, it's fucking 1:44. Let me just get it, sorry. That one. And the black square is the rhesus protein, which is relatable to the rhesus macaque monkey. It's found on all 4 positive blood types. And the other things you see are antibodies and antigens. And the O negative is free from it all. Free from it all. And I'm sort of looking into the fucking 1444. I'm looking into the biological science behind this, which really turns me off. But yesterday I was able to sort of get into it. And I've just heard some guy talk a little bit about this Human Genome Project, and how from documents that are available, this Gateway Experience document that the CIA released, and something else, that there is huge interest in bioplasma, bioenergy, influential energy that can influence the ether, the bioplasma around. I personally, I'm looking into plasma a little bit more while I'm on this thing now, and it's been bashing at me for a while, but for some reason I've been like, no, 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 no. But I actually know people who know a lot more about plasma, so maybe I should phone her and have a chat about this. But it's the AB negatives and the O negatives, and I listened to something the other day, and this YouTuber who I was listening to, I love her, she's great, but in her perception, there's some rift between the AB negatives and the O negatives, and they are sort of they're both very valuable assets. The AB negative is the universal plasma donor, which can be used to treat any of the blood types, the plasma from the AB negatives. And the O negatives blood can be used to treat anybody else, but they can only receive their own. And so, you know, I was thinking more about the universal giver and the universal receiver, and how the universal giver would be the O negative, the one which is free from antigens, antibodies, and the rhesus protein, and, you know, other add-ons. And so I'm going to find the right words that I need to use and use the proper articles on the screen, so that I can be taken more seriously, and that I can take myself more seriously and work myself through these thoughts. But so many words have been popping out when I've been looking at these blood type charts, and I've seen patterns and interesting words relating to the O negative blood, and how, you know, I'm like, oh, I wonder why they use this word if we're some sort of alien mutated blood, you know, that is separate from everything and came in at a later date, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would that blood be able to fit into all? It feels like to me that it's more likely that that is the base of all the others. The mutations were a result of crossbreeding and evolution, you know. And again, it's like, between what kind of species at the original point, who knows, you know. I resonate much more with the sort of the four root races type of idea and story, with the, you know, the who's at the top now, I can't remember, and then the, you know, the Hyperboreans, the Atlanteans, and how it sort of petered down like that. I feel like we fell from consciousness, like not the opposite. So I feel like who knows what kind of original beings we were. But I was thinking that the AB negatives were the plasma, which is probably more from the skies, you know, and the electricity in the ethers, and that the O negatives are the blood, you know, and they're potentially from, maybe they're from the water or the earth, you know, but maybe it's not, you know, the way that other people say it is, you know, that O negatives are out of planet, or, you know, whatever sort of sweeping generalisation is given. And what annoys me is that a lot of rhesus negatives, they love it, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I'm an extraterrestrial from outer space, and it's like, I'm just like, we all are. we all are. It doesn't matter, you know, what your blood is. We all are now. And it's like, now in these physical avatars, who's playing these games of like divide and conquer, or better or worse? We can't choose our fucking meat suit. We all know this. We can't choose, you know, I mean, I guess we did, you know, at some point, but now it's like, it's tough shit what your fucking blood is. And if I didn't have O negative blood, I wouldn't be interested in this. And sometimes I'm annoyed that I have, because I'm interested in it. And every time I try and, you know, talk about it, I feel like I get resistance, and I'm just trying to figure out better ways that I can express this without being like, you know, it's not like I need to have the original blood. It's like, I don't give a shit. Like, if it was AB negative that was the first, and they were some light beings full of plasma that came down and intermingled with, you know, the original sort of fuck knows, you know, God knows, because I'm working out my own theory of evolution, you know. Oh, bloody hell. But so, yeah, I just want to try and show how my mind, seeing the pictures and the shapes and the patterns that popped out, and some shit was going on between me and my consciousness, some other bits yesterday that I need to dig more into, but some really interesting things that I think is worth for me to, you know, try and say. So I'm going to do that, but it's super duper interesting. And yeah, there's lots of big words that I could throw out now, but I've not fully, you know, I've not fully understood and solidified them in my fucking brain yet. I'll be like, oh, you know, the agglutinin, and people will be like, you see, that stupid bitch doesn't know what she's on about. So yeah. And this has been on my mind forever. And it's annoying because I need a certain little book. That's what I need. I need a book just for this type of thought, because it might be some sort of lifelong thing where I get crazy and I start putting all my notes on the walls and rocking in the corner, you know, until I've figured out something, and I'm like, stop, we're not the bad guys. Anywho, right, fuck's sakes, I've got a lot of shit to do, but I've just found this guy. I don't know if I've just said this because I've been rambling for a while in my head, and now I saw all the ones then, 11. But I've just found this guy's channel, and he's talking about some information that he's found, and it's really, really interesting, and it's really great, and you get other pieces of information. You're like, da-ding, da-ding, da-ding. But again, you know, these are not fully formed thoughts, and isn't it funny? Like, sometimes I'm like, go and have a chat, you know, while you're fuzzing and buzzing and get it out. And then right at the end, I do this self on my videos, I just lose confidence. And, you know, I had some voice in my head then going like, you're never going to get the fucking Nobel Prize. It's like, I know that. I'm not trying to be a smart arse either. I'm just like, we're told this. We're told we don't know where this comes from. Where does this rhesus negative come from? And it's like, most people don't even know that it was only sort of discoverable because the guy who discovered it, and I think it was 1940 or something, it was the rhesus protein that was discovered on the blood cells, that it stuck to the blood cells. So it was like, it was the rhesus positive that was found. It was like, oh shit, you know, this is clotting, what's going on here? And oh look, 85% of the population have got this connection to this protein, this rhesus macaque thing, as well as these other additional add-ons in the form of antibodies and antigens. And the ones without that are referred to as rhesus negatives. So it's very clever the way the sort of wording is, isn't it? You know, because this was worded obviously in 1940 in connection to the rhesus macaque monkey and this experiment with the rhesus monkey and this fucking white rabbit, funnily enough. So, God, things are so interesting, but I'm going to get my fucking glasses on and have a swat. And again, I am a stuck record, and I'm sorry, and it's so boring, and I really hope that I don't come across as like, you know, desperate or like, I want to be special. It's like, I want to be myself, and I just don't want to feel persecuted. And, you know, I'm not one of those to stick my nose into too much, but I'm just like, everything I see is the opposite, and every portrayal is just like, oh, it's like knives in the heart constantly. And I'm like, guys, let's look at the diagrams and make some sense of this. That's what I feel like, you know. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Happy solstice. Yeah, thank you for everybody who listens and is so lovely to me. You really fucking help me do this. It's soul support. Thank you very much, and have a bloody wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.